I listen to TikTok and YouTube story times to pass the time, and let's be real, most are faker than a $3 bill. And that's fine, but the patterns are ridiculous. The guy's wife or girlfriend is cheating with her boss, coworker, partner's sibling, ex, or after a girl's trip gone wild, and somehow he just happens to stumble on proof. And instead of losing his mind like a normal person, he calmly crafts the perfect revenge and walks away holding the moral high ground. Please, I've got kids. This isn't a fairy tale. So here's a true one. No moral high ground, no saintly patience. This happened years ago when I was in the army and married to a woman who loved to verbally cut me down. According to her, I wasn't worth 2 cents and couldn't save money to save my life. But she'd always close her little one-sided rants with, "But I love you." One day after one of these tirades, this time because I wanted to buy a new digital camera, Fuji was cutting edge back then, her words just became background noise. I bought the camera anyway. But then I pulled a boss move. I had flipped a couple of computers for a major profit, so I sat down in the driver's seat of my BMW, dropped $2,000 in her lap and said, "Do what you will, on me." Her face was pure confusion, like I just robbed a store. I buckled up and drove off. Of course, that wasn't the last time I got an earful. But by then, I stopped caring. I decided to test her theory that she was the only woman who'd put up with me. Back in the day, before dating apps, you had the personals, and later Craigslist, until a few bad actors ruined it. And yeah, turns out her theory was dead wrong. Fast forward to after I came back from Iraq. She must have felt guilty because she tells me she'd had an affair. Said it didn't mean anything. Turns out it was with a woman who looked like a dude. I didn't care. I was actually glad someone else wanted her, because I sure didn't anymore. Believe me, I made full use of that hall pass. Her bipolar self would gaslight me, play the victim. But I was done. I filed for divorce. She fought me for years, and her lawyer was a shark. Took down 3 of mine. The last even left his law firm. Then I find out she'd still been married to someone else when she married me, but fixed it with a recommitment ceremony. The judge didn't care. Even after being ordered to move out of the property, she refused. Trashed the house. Filed an insurance claim for roof damage after a hailstorm. On my house, the one I was still paying for. 2 years and thousands of dollars later, I was finally free from all that crazy. As I said, no happy ending. The judge didn't give a damn. One thing I left out, when I told her I was leaving, she completely lost it. She punched me in the face, caught me off guard, I dropped a knee, and she started tenderizing my ribs with her knees. Then she pulled the sprayer from the sink and soaked me down. She even dialed 911, and then hung up. I told her, "That was dumb. Now the police are coming." She just shrugged and said so. Sure enough, the cops showed up. When the door opened, all they could see was her walking around, looking up in the air and talking herself. They looked at each other. This confusion was classic. Me, I was just sitting in a chair, dripping wet, pissed but under control. One of the cops called me to the door like I was the problem. "Now I'm aggravated," I said. "I'm the freaking victim." They looked at her, and she straight up screamed, That's right, I did it. Take me to jail, take me to jail." Walked up with her hands raised saying, "Take me to jail." The 2 officers just looked back at me, not with pity, but like, "What did you do?" Oh, the judgment had to be the stereotypical angry black man. After I refused to press charges, they still said I should leave the house. Then I hear them coaching her after she broke down. I grabbed my uniform, a pillow, and a blanket, and left. So you see, in reality, it doesn't matter how grimy she is. The guy is always the villain. I understood that. That's why I became the anti-hero in my own story. And that's it, all the bells and whistles, and 100% real.